Every time I close my eyes, I see the night again. In all the dreams I have, I hear the sound of angels cry. Take me back, I need to find those distant memories. Hold on close, only my power through it all. In all my life, I've been searching for a better world, but time has let me down. Here we stand on this broken land, raise my head up high, I can see the sun. We are the children, with fire in the sky, and we are the future. Our souls in the night will never die. Feel the change, it seems it's like the same old day to me. Nothing here I have to live before they capture me. In all my life I've been searching for a better world, but time has let me down. Here we stand on this broken land, raise my head up high, I can see the sun. We are the children, with fire in the sky. We are the future. Our souls in the night will never
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday night. You know what that means. I'm Dixie Dave with my
And I'm
co-host Crossen,
Pressure
and we
Crossen
are
here.
live.
We are live. You can hear me, right, Dave?
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah. We are live. It's gosh, we've been on since last November. It's been a month, and kind of unusual for us. But this, like we said last time, this is a busy time of the year. Dave's running on fumes right now, and it's just busy time. And but boy, do we have a barn burner of a show today, Dave. This one is one that I've been kind of wanting to do for a while, and not because it's one I'm proud of, though. Don't get me wrong. That was the circumstances of this match behind the scenes was we'll get into it, but yeah, we're going to be going back to studio taping 53 from the Yoho Garage Studios, recorded on November 16th, 1985. And by the way, Dave, I do have my NWF shirt on today, so you can't get on me for that.
Hey, I'm here too.
I see it. But yeah, this show was interesting thing about this show is this is the last show in the garage, final one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was the final show. What happened was we ended up having the insurance agent. Article in the Minneapolis Star Tribune got written on us a week prior to the taping of this show, and a little bit too much publicity, Dave. And our insurance agent seen that article, and he said, "No, you can't do this, or we're going to cancel the policy on the house." So, a little wrinkle.
Damn insurance agents, huh?
Yeah, that's a whole other story. But this particular show features, as you've seen in the thumbnail on the video thing, it features myself and Kid Kelsey in our title match well, he was the champion and it was my title shot during the shoot title match days, right? And man, you know what?
This is one ring, or this is one match you regret in a way.
Kind of. I do. I know that Kelsey feels, we were kids, and teenagers, and at that age, and having this match done as a shoot. And every time I say shoot, so everybody understands, it means it's real.
There's no predetermined outcome.
No predetermined. But we did them kind of shoot/works. We would start out working, and then it would kind of turn into a shoot, So, but yeah, that's kind of how they went. I know we got some kind of get caught up here on everybody. Terry, great to see you in the house, always as usual. One of our regulars, Terry Costnell. Not just a
Meet him
regular.
on one of these days.
He was an alumni. He was in the league. Yeah, one of the best actually in our league, I would say, for lightweight, kind of lightweight/heavyweight. He was on the border. But yeah, always great to see Terry here, and we got King Coop. Great to see y'all again. I hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. We sure did. How about you, Dave?
Oh yeah. Family and friends around, always a good time.
Yeah, holidays are a busy time, and I was with friends this year. I didn't go home to Minnesota, so some of my friends here in Utah, and it was a good Thanksgiving. King Coop also says this is going to be a good live. Can't wait to check this one out. Yeah, this one's going to be an interesting one. We'll talk about it when we get the show going. But yeah, it'll be a good one. I suppose we should just start it, huh, Dave? Get things rolling here.
Yep, let's get things rolling.
All right. All right. So, yeah, I was saying that this was the thumbnail on the show, Dave, said, "Where all hell breaks loose." And what I mean by that is it got a little intense. Intense is the word.
Yeah.
And, our guest.
And as I remember, feelings were hurt a little bit after this match.
Yeah. Not only was Kelsey hurt physically, but he was hurt mentally. It hurt his pride, And as a teenager at that time, yeah, I mean, how else were you gonna? If it was the other way around, I would have felt the same. Like this was the light bulb that finally went off in my head that we can't do title matches like this anymore.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Andrew Carlson was on what a month ago. The guest by Ace was his name on the show.
Yep.
Ace was the champion through all these shoot matches. So all Ace knows is shoot title match. And so to him, when we told Ace that we started to do it as a proper work after the predetermined thing, he's like, "Well, his first question would the match is still competitive."
Yep, I remember him bringing that up, that him asking if they were still as intense
and competitive. Because so for him, it's a whole different perspective. But for me, looking at it all in hindsight, this was probably, I hate to say it, but it was probably a mistake to do shoot title matches. I mean, in hindsight, at the time, I thought I was doing the right thing. I was trying to be fair. Was my reason. I wanted it fair. I didn't want there to be anybody thinking that I was, doing favors behind the scenes, giving people belts and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
So that was my thinking. But it is what it is. But yeah, it's gonna be a good show. Also on the show, we got the Super D's. They're back. They were gone over most of the summer for soccer purposes, but they were back here at this time. And as we know, they went on to become professional soccer players. Very good soccer players, I might add. They are in the Ring of Honor in Milwaukee for soccer. They were that good. So
Yep.
Today our main event is
we're kind of a little low on the audio. Let me see if I can fix that.
Crusher Crossen for the belt. And here I want to have an interview with Crusher Crossen. Come on in, Crusher. How do you feel about this?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
How do you feel about
A
this
little bit
upcoming
better.
match?
You know, think about it. Just think about it. The whole Twin Cities has been wondering when I was going to get a shot for that title because, you know, I have been the 3-time world champion around here. For one. And for
4. It's going to be 4.
It's going to be for the world title, and I'm going to get that, too. And that's another thing, because the whole Twin Cities has it set in the back of their head when I was going to get that shot, and I got it now. And no one is going to get away from me.
You know that Kelsey doesn't even make a good a good champion. He is the worst champion I know.
That is being a little biased, but, you know, I have...
But it's true.
But listen, I'm not concerned who makes a good champion or not. I'm just concerned to get the title, and I'm going to get it today. And another thing. Now, Mr. Wiltermuth is a little unavailable, and it's getting to be a little too much.
We have some distractions. Guards, come on, take care of them. Guards. Come on. Yeah.
Guys getting out of hand
I
behind the
understand
scenes,
that he's
Dave.
not your
Yep.
take team partner anymore.
What else is
Dropping
new?
him, and I got a
Right.
new tag team partner, and this one's going to shock it, I tell you.
Come on in.
Killer
Kappa.
is going to take his place for the world title.
How do you feel about this?
Pretty great, man. We're gonna go all the way.
And that's right. And the ring. Hey, listen to this one. The Ring Warriors have been around lately. Haven't they got the message yet that they can't get the job done? They've been around with one of my ex-tag team partners, and they couldn't get anything done. But now, as again, they're gonna try to do
What
it.
was
but, you know,
referring to there?
nothing.
Well, this should be quite a show. We also
Ex-partner.
have one half of the Ring Warriors, Chuck Roberts versus Kid USA Kelsey in a lumberjack match. And
Good one. And a tag team battle.
oh yeah, don't forget about the take team battle royal. The winner's getting all the money. How much money is that?
50 cents. I'm not sure. Guards.
I heard it.
Stuff taken care of.
I heard it's $100,000.
It's somewhere around there. I'm not sure. I just signed up because I like battle.
You know,
royals
I
all the
hate
time,
these
and-
interviews,
I'm
Dave.
in there too.
With me.
Oh, I know you do. You always cringe when you watch one of yours.
Yeah.
No.
Well, the first match, you know.
Well, good luck.
Yep.
Okay, and now to the ring for NWF action.
So, Brian Peterson. You notice how he said like Kelsey doesn't make a good champion, and that was that was the vibe with the guys. Like they were when this match takes place, Dave. All the you know how the boys are the crowd, right? The kids are the crowd, you know, our wrestlers. Well, they're all behind me. They were always on Kelsey, man. He would get the brunt of it on that when it came to the crowd.
Rough Ryan Kelsey,
With the
excuse me,
guys.
against the Super D's.
Not sure
And this
exactly
is for the
why.
tag team.
Probably because I gave Kelsey a lot of attention in the league. And they didn't, you know. We're all kids, right?
Yep.
So yeah, we
Is
got
that
one here.
referee Matt Kelsey?
No, that's Rough Ryan. Rough Ryan and the Super D's.
No, I'm talking about the referee.
Oh yeah, Kid Kelsey ref in there. Yep. We got Super D 2. That's Super D 2 with the blue
watching our 53rd show, I believe.
Pants on.
blue
So
pants.
keep tuning in.
Now
Okay,
this guy in the
the
red,
action
that's
is
Furious
underway.
Fritz. That would be
Just
my
a second,
cousin.
folks.
Oh, okay.
John Fritz. We do a really interesting match on this show. We do kind of an angle where he goes against one of the Super Ds, and we'll see it when it comes up. We'll talk
Yep.
about it. But yeah, like Dave, this angle for the cameras, I really wish we'd go in the corner like we usually do in the garage. I don't know why we're up close like this, because as you can see, you can't get the whole action.
Yep, I was going to say, if they zoom out just a little bit.
Yeah, which they need to do. So that's Super D1, yeah. That would be Troy Dazowski. Super D2 would be Todd Dazowski.
Convenience.
Oh, okay.
This is your commentator, the Scorpion.
Of course, Rough Ryan.
Obviously angry about
Yeah, the lightweights.
something.
This was like kind of the lightweights were really at the pinnacle in the garage. That's where we really got the lightweights going in the show.
Tag with Furious Fritz.
Super D2 makes a tag with Super D1.
This was around the
And we
time,
have,
Dave, when I noticed the Super Ds were really starting to come together. Like before, they were just, they were fun to watch them get thrown out of the ring, and but they were
Doing their
still,
dive.
yeah, they were still learning, kind of learning the stuff. But now, at this point, they really, their technique starts to develop around this time. And
sort of hard to see the action from my point of view. The ref's fat head was in the way.
as you can see, these matches when they're in the shoot days, even the regular matches get a little
trying to make the
intense.
tag, but Furious Fritz just won't let him. Okay, and
Yeah, this, I was telling you, so what happened here, this is the last show in the garage, and the reason this is the last show in the garage is because, you remember how we had the Eyewitness News come out and do the story on us, a little bit earlier this year, in 85,
Yep.
it would have been in the spring. Well, then in November, this Minneapolis Star-Tribune called me, a reporter, and said they wanted to do a story on our show. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, great, let's do it. And they did an interview with me over the phone, and asked all sorts of questions. And then they wanted to send a photographer out to get some pictures for the article. And I'm like, okay, so we had the garage set up in the studio or in the garage and everything. So I had them come out to here, had everything set up. We did some staged pictures for them. So basically, they had me stand in the ring, looking at the camera with a kind of prop match going on in the background type thing.
Yeah.
Just basically propped a picture, like staged it. And then when that article came out, it was in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune in the Sunday edition, which is the most popular of all the papers in the week.
Oh, yeah.
Goes out throughout the whole state, and it was in the Sunday magazine, which a lot of people read because that's a bit, a people interest piece, right?
Yep.
And they did my article with a colored picture. Now, colored pictures in the paper today happens all the time, but in those days, in '85, that was a rarity.
Exactly. They were black and white all the
Usually
time.
black and white, yeah. And they were just getting into color. Here we had the color picture. I thought, God, it was great. I was so pumped for that article, and we were all excited. And then my mom gets that call from the insurance agent later on that week after the article came out. She tells me we can't do it anymore. They're going to cancel the homeowner's policy. And I was livid. I was absolutely, I'm like, I got so defensive. I remember arguing with my mom, and she's like trying to tell me, look, if you keep doing it, they will cancel the policy, and we won't have any insurance, and we can't have that happen.
Exactly.
She understood my frustration, but she was just trying to tell me the way it was, right?
Yep.
I remember I even called the insurance agent myself, you know me. I'm not going to let it go without at least a phone call.
Yep.
I just basically argued with the guy, but there's nothing we can do. So we were in some, we didn't know if the show was going to continue after this taping for a while there.
There's no winner of the match. It's a double disqualification.
Double DQ on that one, Dave.
Yep. Yeah, I was talking to somebody at work not too long ago about how certain music wouldn't fly anymore.
Yeah, I know. Times have changed, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so that article, while it was great publicity, a lot of people seen it. I remember walking down the street.
Saw it.
What's that?
I said too many people saw it.
Too many said. I remember just walking down the street in my neighborhood. I don't know where I was going. And Butch Manus, Bill Manus, who I knew forever growing up with his dad, he'd come in his truck and he rolled down the window and he says, "Crusher!" And he's never called me that. And he's like, "I seen you in the paper." He goes, "That's pretty good. That what you're doing with that show. Keep it up." He was all pumped. He was just pumped up about it. I thought, man, it made me feel good. You know, I didn't know that he even seen it, right?
And we're back
Yep.
with another spectacular NWF
Yeah.
interview with Corporal Crossen.
It's not Corporal Crossen, it's the Scorpion. Don't you forget.
Yeah, that lasted one show. Jason was doing the Scorpion gimmick, but it
Excuse me, he
didn't,
has changed his
didn't
name
stick.
to the Scorpion Crossen. And who are you wrestling today?
I don't know, gee, the cowardly people they haven't said who I'm gonna wrestle yet. Say, I like your tie there. Did you get that at the Salvation Army?
No, it looks like you got your little thing there and your glasses there. Brace face.
Getting back to my interview.
Get back to your interview.
Peterson could get under your
Okay,
skin,
well,
I tell you.
If we could get who
Little glitch in the video there, folks.
Crossen is wrestling today.
Yeah, Brian
Who
loved to get under
who
your
is
skin.
wrestling today? Who is Corporal Crossen wrestling today?
Scorpion.
Oh, and
Scorpion, folks, don't let this,
we've got word that he is wrestling. We've got word that he is wrestling Slick Steenerson.
excuse me, announcer, I believe it's Campa today.
No, I don't believe so. It is. How do you know? You didn't get any word, Corporal
Just like-
Crossen.
You lost your wig, moron.
That's it. That's it. This interview is officially over.
Interview is almost kind of out of control.
Yep.
See this history-making.
Is this that tag team battle royal?
Well, it's kind of hard to hear it, but it's a promo. Like I don't know why the audio didn't come through correct in this. But this is a promo for what we were calling Superstar Spectacular '85,
Oh, okay.
and it was going to be in the garage. It was going to be in December, and we were bringing back a lot of guys. Even Ace, we were talking with him to get him to come back for this one.
Oh, okay.
And that was going to be a big event at the end of the year in the garage. But like this all got shafted when that insurance agent called, right?
Yep.
So it just never happened. While we're watching this promo, Gizmo in the house. A little bit late, but that's fine. You're here.
Didn't miss much, Gizmo.
We're looking forward to your questions as always.
December 24th and 27th.
And
Remind you, please
yeah,
check
so-
the table for local times.
And so that's what that was. That was a promo for
This
that.
match will consist of the Scorpion
Okay.
Crossen, which will be entering the ring any second.
So Scorpion
and
Crossen,
Slick Steenerson.
Yeah, I think I told Jason, that Scorpion gimmick isn't going to work. I kind of nixed that one. And, but he wanted to try it. I was okay with it, trying it, but. So, Steenerson, this is one of his very first shows. I mean, he made his debut a couple shows ago, but we know how talented he was back in the day. But this is a very green Slick Steenerson, though, at this time, Dave. Now you see that Kelsey getting into it with Roberts on the outside of the ring there. They're kind of going back and forth. Them two did not get along, Chuck Roberts and Matt Kelsey.
And this is Rough Ryan here for commentary, and Scorpion kicks Stevenson.
You know, you had some little skirmishes like that. I mean, not physical fist fight type things, but just, getting under each other's skin off the side. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Scorpion
Yeah.
has a black belt in karate.
So Troy, like I said, pretty green in these days, just starting out. But I'll tell you something though, for a big, kind of hefty kid that Troy was, he could move like a cat, really.
Oh, yeah.
Cat-like reflexes.
Oh, yeah. That he had. I mean,
Yeah, and strong. Don't underestimate him, man. Troy is real nice, funny, got along with him real well. But if you were ever on the bad side of him, if you got under, if you've seen, Troy's
you
one.
got on the wrong side of Troy,
Yeah,
you were in trouble.
it's one of the guys I wouldn't mess with. I think I tell the story in school. Somebody got under Troy's skin on something. I don't know what they did in gym class, and he beat the crap out of this kid and got suspended.
Scorpion has him in some sort of headlock.
Troy
It's
did.
about like Troy.
Yep.
Ooh, this Scorpion
Yeah,
charges,
so,
misses.
but really though, if you were his
Scorpion
friend,
goes
he
down.
was never gonna hurt you.
Scorpion.
But if he didn't know you,
The
you
bottom
know,
now.
or you got
It slips
double crossed him or
towards
something like that.
Stevenson with a headlock or something. Or
Yeah, I
like-
remember one of my early matches. Slick and I tagged up, and then when I left the company,
Does not submit. Stevenson.
That's right.
didn't
you
see
did
him
tag
for a
up,
long
yeah.
time, and then I saw him in school one day. Saw the NWF jacket that he was wearing.
Oh, something into the eyes.
Referee in this one's Todd Dazowski. Super D number
The
2.
Scorpion really hurt. And now for commentary, Ryan Kelsey.
Commentaries there is Super D1 and Ryan Kelsey refereeing. They're commentating.
Controlling the match at that point.
See, when we didn't have an announcer, okay, this is like that period where we were just lacking an announcer. Then somebody would, anybody, we get anybody to commentate
Yep.
through the top match. The ring at this time in the garage was the biggest it ever was as far as the garage ring. It was about 15 by 15 at this point, with all the improvements we made over time. Gizmo says the headband reminds of the old days where many people wore them like Hulk Hogan or just a sign of the time. Yeah, and Klassen's trying to, do the scorpion gimmick, like he's like got these martial arts skills, right? And so that's part of why, because the headband he was using was an oriental looking headband, kind of like the Karate Kid kind of thing.
Yep.
But that headband would eventually be used for another character in our show. The
That we won't
Kamikaze-
bring up.
Yeah.
The Scorpion.
But yeah, so
The Scorpion, I think should win this match because he knows a lot of karate and he also has good wrestling ability.
just looking, I really wish we would have moved that camera to the corner of the garage like we usually do, because this angle is just not the best.
Takedown. Both men hurt. They get back up. Afterwards goes the Scorpion.
Of course, all this time though, Dave, I'm telling you, both myself and Matt, we're just ready for this match to
Down by
take place.
Slick.
I remember before the match with me and Kelsey,
The Scorpion
I had told Matt, I said, because Matt and I, Dave, we were tight back then. We were good
Oh,
friends.
yeah.
And I said, hey Matt, I know we're friends and stuff, but title match and everything, I just got to let you know I'm going to be going for the belt. And he says, I understand. He goes, don't worry, because I'm going to be trying to keep it. I said, all right. And we kind of shook hands, and that was not on camera.
Yep, that was Sean and Matt talking.
Right. And I just figured, I want him to know that I'm coming for the belt. Because am I thinking, Dave, at that time, I hadn't had the belt all year. Ace had it for the most part, and then Kelsey got it from Ace. And it was my turn. Everybody got a shot. Brian Peterson had a shot just before me, and it was my shot, and I'm like, I want the belt. I wanted the belt. You know that feeling? When you want to get a championship or whatever the case may be. That was going through my mind, and I'm like, so my game plan, and we'll talk about it, but my game plan was I'm going to try to make Matt submit. That was what I was going to try to do. Got to make him just give up.
Steverson's getting up there.
I got a comment here from Sports Talk. The belt matches were always the best on NWF. I'm assuming he's referring to the shoot ones, huh? The title matches when there were shoots like that, or maybe just in general. Not sure which one he's referring to. I'm curious, Sports Talk, did you like when they were real or undetermined, or did you like them when they were worked and predetermined? Because basically everything after 1985, everything in 86 and 87 was predetermined. So.
3 minutes left in the match.
But yeah, these title matches, and this is the last show of it. But these would be shoots. These were not predetermined. And that's why the guys, Dave, would get kind of mad at school if kids gave them shit about it being fake. If they had a title, they'd be like, "Hey, there's nothing fake on these title matches."
Exactly. I mean, even
The ref said the Scorpion was disqualified.
Yeah, he meant the shoots, I think. Thought so.
St. Kelsey hits a ref with the tennis racket.
Yeah, Matt or Troy a little bit underdeveloped at this time, but boy, does he get pretty good in time, huh, Dave?
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
the only one of us NWFers to ever wrestle a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Who would have thought, right? These public service announcements, we only put them in because we like to feel like it's a commercial, right?
Exactly.
So that title match, man, I think that might be coming up. Is that coming up next? I think there's a tag team match, and then it comes up after that, maybe. Coming up soon.
Welcome back to NWF for another spectacular interview, but this one will be with Kid USA Kelsey.
All right, we got Kelsey's
Come on in,
comments.
Kid USA. Oh, you have two big matches, two against two very tough guys that I have wrestled, and they are tough. How do you think you'll do against the first one, which is a title match?
Will Roberts, or,
No, I'm
oh
thinking
yeah,
Crossen.
Crossen, three-time champion. He's one former tag team champion. He's part of my six-man tag team champion. Very tough man. I've trained with him. I know his style. It's going to be a very tough match. I'm predicting it's going to go to the time limit.
So you think it'll go to the time limit? And how about the lumberjack match with Chuck?
Well, Chuck, the butt, I can't say it. He's tougher than Crossen. He's stronger than Crossen. He does have the weight and strength advantage over me. And then he has that big blob, the bod.
Do you,
Corner.
I understand that this is no time limit match between you and Chuck.
No, it's a 10 minute time limit.
Okay, I heard from someone that it was 15.
10 minute time limit.
Well, we will get that straight at the time of the match.
Matt doesn't want to get in the ring with Chuck. So he's making sure it's a 10-minute time limit on the lumberjack match. Yeah, so that was Kelsey's thinking. I could maybe just weather the storm like Andrew did all those matches when he was in over his head.
Attention wrestling fans, we deeply apologize for lack of quality in our recent shows, but all that will change. The NWF is changing its ways, and in December we will be bringing you the first ever NWF Action Mania 85 Superstar Spectacular with 6 spectacular title matches. We ask you to please watch this show and please keep up your loyal support. Thank you.
The reason I had Jason do that is because my thinking after watching this show was that we're clowning around a little too much and getting a little too goofy and stuff in the interviews, and then the behind the scenes and the off to the side, right? And I wanted to clean all that up. I wanted to get back to being a little bit more professional.
And Slick Blimp Steenerson.
That's why I had Jason do that promo.
You heard that right?
Versus
What's his name?
Slick Steenerson. Versus champions of the world. In this corner, the Dream Team. Crusher
Yeah, this is where I picked
Crossen
Killer Campa to be my replacement
and
partner for Keith
Campa.
Wilton for the tag team
This
belts.
match is underway.
So we were basically had the titles at this time. But this is the only show Campa and I were cleaned up because Killer Campa would leave the show after this taping.
In this ring,
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I'll tell you what happened there. But first, before I do that, Sky Sports Video News says, did NWF earn money for the television shows? No. Dave?
We were a public access show.
Yeah, community television, so there's no profit there at all. Not from the television show. The only time money was generated with the NWF was at our Armory shows that we did.
And Brian Peterson as Crossen.
And I say generated because nobody earned money from that. It just went into a non-profit bank account that we had set up and funded future events and whatever we needed for the league.
Exactly.
Yep. Nobody individually was making any money in the NWF. Now, I said Campa ended up leaving the show. Well, the reason is because you know, remember, a lot of us are friends outside the show, right, Dave?
Pink
Yep.
Peterson here.
And we're kids, we're teenagers. Todd and I were pretty tight in those days, but Todd and I would get into it. You know, we get into different squirmish fights. You know, not physical, but just like, you know how you get in a fight with somebody. When I say fight, I don't mean physical.
Crusher is in a bad spot.
We got in some kind of an altercation, and Todd's big thing was
And Crossen makes
to
the
get
tag.
back to me. He's like, fine, I'm quitting the show. He did this before, right? And I'm thinking, all right, fine, go ahead and quit the show. Because I knew usually it'd always come back, right?
Yep.
Which is his thing. Well, he never did end up coming back after that one. But you know what? Again, we're teenagers, right? Teenagers being teenagers. So I really wish Campa would have though. Campa was with it for so long. He was like at this point in time, he was in it for a couple years. He was in it just about as long as I was. In fact, he wasn't in it as long as I was. He was on the first show. And Campa could have done a lot with him, you know, especially if it would have been interesting. I guess, Dave, it would have been interesting to see these guys develop with the real ring that we ended up getting, right?
Oh, I think they would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
After all the years of taking the hard ring,
Yeah.
they would have been in heaven in the 86 ring.
You can see the early formation of my flying drop kick in these days, Dave, is not quite there yet, but getting there.
Crossen looks, he's been working hard.
Yeah, working with Troy was, you know, in the early days was kind of rough because he wasn't gentle.
Giving each other a dead stare.
Not in the beginning. Brian, he was always a rough house.
All kinds. This is total pandemonium in this ring. This is
Big
total
ox, kind of a
madness,
big
folks.
oxy frame too, right?
And
Compared to the rest of us.
Coming over with commentary with me, Scorpion Crossen, is Rough Ryan. Whoa, Rough Ryan, how do you feel about this match?
Oh, there he goes trying to shoot his way into stuff, and you're just like, nope.
How do you feel about?
Yeah, you have to really like, in these days, just to get your moves, you had to really kind of bully your way into it, you know, forcefully.
He seems to be giving enough fists.
And this is all, you guys, the reason it's like this is because of these shoot title matches. It rubs off. So if somebody has a shoot match, title match, whatever, then they go into a regular match, they still have that mentality, right? Even though they know they'll win, they still play, I guess they play rough.
Baker's hat, he could be the mascot for them. Oh, and Blimp Stevenson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry to interrupt this match, but the action is so tremendous, we gotta let you know. Superstar Spectacular 85 coming in late December. What a card that's gonna be. You gotta watch that one. But
Yeah, we never did get Superstar Spectacular 85, but
also in mid-January of 1986,
Got
mid-January
86.
of 1986, you can't miss the NWF's 1985 Match of the Year, where we're going to be showing you the greatest and best matches the NWF's produced in 1985. Such matches.
I wish I still had that show. We did that.
Known as the Rock and Roll Express against the
We did. I have the best matches of '86. I still have that show, but I don't have the best matches of '85. But Jason and I hosted it, and we did it. I can't remember what the matches were that we picked, but we did do. We used to do that at the end of the year. It was kind of fun.
Plenty of better matches and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about. Mr. X against Crusher Crossen.
Sky Sports says half shirt and short shorts and high striped tube socks. Those were the days. Well, I mean, it brings back the '80s, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's you know, people look at that like look at Peterson like, ah, look at he's wearing these super short shorts. What? That's the style back then. That's what everybody wore.
Yep. Yeah. Daisy Dukes before they were Daisy Dukes.
Yeah. And the referee in this one is Troy Dazowski.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by for a special announcement from the NWF's Vice President.
Super D #1.
Thank you, folks. We just cannot tell you enough about this
Match getting all out of hand. I know one thing that happened in this match is Steenerson he had the where he throws salt in your face, but it wasn't salt, it was flour. Nevertheless, that flour getting in your eyes was just about as bad as salt. I mean, I guess not quite as bad, but look at Peterson just got it in his eyes, and they get it in mine pretty good actually. Steenerson puts it right in my face. That was one of Troy's signature things of throwing the powder in your face. We did that at Sandburg Middle School when we did the taping there for the community school event we did there in front of the kids. Yeah, we did a after school thing there, and we had about 30 or 40 kids show up to that thing just to watch, and we did TV tapings out of it. And Troy did we did that whole flower thing angle that we like to do with that. King Coop says those were some stiff blows by the look of it. Yeah, Peterson. Brian he was a rough customer. The one in the ring there. He would never go light.
We'll get the ref's official word on this. Ref, the bell, and you get the ref's official decision.
All the flour on my
Sean Crossen and Todd Killer Camper won by
still trying to get it out of my eyes. So I got here in slow motion. You can see it. Watch Troy. It's right in my face, big cloud, and that went right into my eyes. I remember it. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Not a fun day at the office.
Well, yeah, King Coop says, was that one of the shoot matches? Like I was saying, it was. Well, yeah, it was, because that was a tag team match. We were the tag team champions. That one was, because it was a title match. So yeah, we didn't have it determined. Anytime it's a title match. Oops.
At this point in time, it was a shoot.
It was a shoot, yeah. We never determined them.
For another spectacular interview with the Super D's 1 and 2.
Troy Dazowski.
You had that match against Rough Ryan and Fabulous Fritz. How do you think you guys did?
Yeah, we should have beat him, but you had to come in and interfere.
I didn't have to. Kelsey was doing a terrible job. You know that. If Crusher Crossen would have directed Kelsey out, it would have been you guys winning.
Yeah, that's true, but
I didn't do it for their sake.
Yeah, but Kelsey, he's a crappy ref. That's what I have to say.
Crappy blub ref.
It's nice. But he should not be a ref again for my matches.
I know he shouldn't even be allowed to ref. He shouldn't be allowed for any matter that is possible.
Now, see how they insulted Kelsey? Watch what Kelsey does in this interview. He comes into it. Matt Kelsey will interrupt this interview.
Oh, he did.
Off to the side, you'll see him.
Crusher Crossen, come here. We have to hear some controversy about this. Crusher, look at that, Crusher.
I wonder what
Look at Brian.
CPD stand for, Super Diapers.
He gets right in Matt's face.
I wonder if Super D
That
stands
wasn't
for Super
scripted, folks.
Diaper. Listen,
Peterson, forget it. What's this controversy? Everybody heard that Kelsey, before the match, said that he was going to let Fritz and Rough Ryan win. Everybody heard it. Chuck, did you hear it?
Yeah.
Everybody heard it.
No.
What do you think on that?
Well, I was running camera in the back, so I'm not sure. I didn't hear anything.
I don't think Kelsey should ever.
Pick it up.
I don't think Kelsey should ever ref again.
If our audio will pick it up, then we'll have proof. But we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Let's go up. Take
Okay, let's go up.
Interesting. I wonder what Troy Zelsky wanted to say something more. Let's see. Sports Talk 117 says, how do you think you would have done on YouTube if they had it back then? Be interesting to see how many views and subscribers each wrestler would have. Yeah. Gosh, if I had today's technology, I've said this before, Dave, whether that be YouTube, HD, quality footage, cameras and stuff, if I would have had access to today's technology, our show would have been so much better.
fixed now.
Exactly.
And
Even pretty much, I should
yeah,
say,
I would have
should
went.
say
You know,
myself.
with the way I was back then, if YouTube was around, I would have been all in on that to the ninth degree, right? Yeah, I would have took it by the. I would have deep dived in it if I had it, if I had access to it. Like that, I can guarantee you.
And even though he can
Yep,
always
I
run
mean-
all that crap and put his big belly on little people's bellies, but he can't.
We would have had to battle the pandas for the WWF
Brian over there.
logo.
Yeah.
Some loudmouths out here at
I'm getting
ringside.
into it with Brian.
Called Peterson. They're called Peterson and Ruffles.
Because Brian was interrupting and it was ruining the segment. What I did, it cuts, and I just threw that chair on the floor to get his attention.
The Wild Warriors. How are your eyes after
Yeah.
that Philly match with the Doughboy and the pink one?
They're okay.
You know, sometimes you have to get somebody like Brian Peterson. You know, if he gets, you can't let him take control of the show, right?
I don't really care about
Sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta let him know who's in
and
charge.
Stevenson
That's
and
all that.
nothing.
That's all I was
Now,
doing
I
there.
just got the word that the Ring Warriors are coming, and well, we'll just see what happens then. They've been around a little.
This is a segment we were doing for a while. It was called Kelsey's Corner, and he would just have
And now
guests
all of a
come in
sudden
or
they're
whatever,
coming
and this
back
time
as
it's
well.
just
Couldn't
me
get
and
the job done
Camp and-
elsewhere. So look at this statistics. It's perfectly plain and simple. They just all of a sudden they were
King
absent.
Coop
Where'd they go?
says,
No one
or
knew.
I'm sorry, not King Coop, Gizmo. Crusher, the more of these rewinds videos I watch, the more I respect what you pulled off back then. It was a generational show.
They do have the weight advantage
Yeah.
over these guys. These guys.
I wonder, what do you mean by
Muscle,
generational?
speed, and agility.
Like,
Camp,
what do you take
made
that,
turn
Dave?
on
That
Doughboy
generational, like,
Stevenson?
Well, I mean,
Doughboy. Yeah. Well, him.
because when I think of generational, I think of
Brian,
like several
all
generations, but we didn't
ring.
really
If
have
I'm
that, did
hungry,
we?
I don't want to go sliding in.
Never continued.
Yeah, look at that dent.
but
I mean-
what he's saying is,
Dent, buddy.
you know, we were once in a generation type.
Oh, okay, like of a different era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, I just don't see it happening again, like we did.
No.
It may
I mean,
happen
our
again.
show,
What's that?
I was just saying, our show,
Two will be appearing.
I hate to say it, kids nowadays just don't have the drive and determination to do what we did back then.
Fabulous Fritz.
Right. And not only that, but the parents won't let them do it. They would, you know, it's just way too much, you know, what do you call it? Helicopter parenting type thing where they would not let their kids do anything like this with just not being supervised. We were
Right.
unsupervised for the most part on this, you know?
One of the crazy things that Gen X did.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I could see something like this happening again, but it'd be run by adults, it'd be controlled by adults, it'd probably be more polished because of that, right? But it
Yo.
wouldn't be as raw, and it wouldn't be as unique, and it wouldn't be as, what's the word I'm looking for? Original as what we did.
Exactly. I mean, we were literally teenagers running a business.
Yeah. And Gizmo repeats here, just like you said, you'll never see your story again. Yeah. And I'm not bragging about that. I would love to see this happen again, Dave. Nothing more I would love to see this happen again, because then it lets me know that people have maybe seen what we did and they're trying to carry the torch. I'm all for that. I just don't know if it would ever happen again. I really have my doubts. Right?
Yep. Like you said, though, too much helicopter parenting and
I agree with Gizmo Crusher. What you did back then was definitely innovative, and it was ahead of its time. I could not see kids doing this nowadays. Now, I don't. I really don't. I do see them doing. I do see them doing like the backyard stuff that we've seen forever. It's on what but it's not organized. It's not. It's just kind of makeshift, and then maybe they do it for a month or two, and then they're done, type of thing, right?
Going against the ropes.
yeah, I mean, too many people get hurt doing that stuff. They quit doing it. And
Right. So this was the match, Dave, I was telling you about. So we got Super D won against my cousin John Fritz. And then you notice that it's Super D2, his brother, his twin brother, reffing. Keep that in mind. It's all part of the angle. So my cousin in the ring, right?
Yep.
Wrestling Super D #1 in a singles match with his brother reffing. See, you got another comment from.
And here comes the Scorpion.
Yeah, this is the old Scorpion here.
I thought we did.
This is a
Oh,
pretty
there we go.
exciting match, wouldn't you say, Campa?
Oh yeah, for you. The
Gizmo, he
old
says, you'll never see a 13-year-old get his show on TV with no insurance and limited parent involvement. That is for damn sure. Not these days. Yeah.
Society wouldn't let it happen.
No, sir.
Freeze Fritz gets hold of his legs. Freeze, it's a cleat, folks. Look at the spikes on that. He's getting hit. Freeze Fritz is getting hit. And Super
So
D1 is
he's got a
hitting him
shoe with a
this.
cleat,
This is terrible, folks.
right? It's supposed to be a cleat. And he's hitting Fritz with the shoe, and referee's on the other side, so you can't see it.
Fritz is in terrible pain. Oh, Fritz is trying to power up, but he just can't make it. I'm surprised that the ref doesn't call disqualification here. It's a foreign object. It's a foreign object in the ring. Obviously, Sean Crossen bursts in, hitting Super D.
So Crusher Crossen, his cousin, comes in to help try to save the day.
The ref is getting hammered on. The ref is wrestling.
And now,
Folks, this is total pandemonium. The ref is
his
hammered
brother
on
is supposed to be refereeing, starts going after Fritz.
Peterson seems the only one
Yeah.
who can maintain order.
I like Jason's commentating. The ref is wrestling. Now the ref is wrestling.
And we have Rough Ryan and Sean Crossen. Not to mention the ref is wrestling. Kid Kelsey, Super D1, Brian Peterson.
So King Coop
Brian
says
Peterson
if
trying
kids
to
and
maintain
teens
some
tried
sort
that
of
nowadays, it
order
would
here.
definitely create legal liability, and it would make
Kid
national
Kelsey
news headlines, especially if somebody got hurt. And you know something, with the way kids are today, somebody probably would get hurt. You know, our mentality, yeah, these shoot matches got a little tense, but our whole way of thinking is we're not going to hurt each other. We never had planned to hurt one another. That was never in our mind. Can't say
We
the
were
same.
just out there to put on a great show.
Right.
Back to the action here. We have
Especially after this show, and I'll talk about it after the match when we watch it here. But you know, these shoot matches, yeah, they're competitive and they can be fun to watch here and there. But there's another side of these things that you guys don't realize, and maybe you do, but we'll talk about it here with this match coming up with me and Kelsey, which I believe is the next match. So we'll have that title match finally. It'll be the last match of the show. It was the last match on this taping. Yeah, there's certain high points, or, you know, if anybody's seen the documentary NWF The Untold Story, you know that this match was talked about in that documentary. That was one of their stories. One of these days, we're going to watch Ace and Merciless Mike's match, which all
This is for the title. In the corner to my right, Crusher Crossen will be entering. And in my corner to my left, Kid, USA, Blub, Kelsey. Are you going to enter or are you going to walk around with your karate so-called stuff on? You blimp. You think you'll win this one?
I don't think I know. I am indeed going to get that belt. And if I don't...
Man, you don't think you know it, right? And the match will be...
Yeah, Brian got under everybody's skin. He didn't care who you were.
Start calling them all. Here.
So these title matches were 10 minutes, 10-minute time limit. You have 10 minutes to get it done.
I'll stay warm.
Did I hear Peterson saying start counting them out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you listen to the crowd, they're all behind me. They wanted me to win this thing.
Refs checking Kid USA Kelsey here. Hey, where you going, ref? Kid
Super D2? Or no, Super D1.
That would be Super D1 repping here. Troy Dazowski.
Chases him out of the ring. And Crusher Crossen is mad at it. Crusher wants to that.
Well,
Kelsey's
Crusher,
playing
man.
the whole, getting out of the ring, getting in, getting out, getting in. And we're serious here. And I was kind of frustrated. We're wasting time. Now, like I said, these shoot matches like this, they start out like this. You work. So you're working, you're selling for each other. It's a courteous thing, being courteous. But there will come a point in the match where this all shifts, and I'll tell you when that happens because I remember exactly when it happened. As I watch it here.
Crusher Crossen backwards. Crusher's out of the ring.
Yeah, Peterson decided to try to be another referee, and during the match, I will tell him to get his ass out of there because I didn't want. This isn't supposed to be. You're not supposed to have two refs in the ring like this.
Some kind of a pile driver. Crusher Crossen's on the rope.
And then when I tell him, Brian gets out.
Forearms. Ooh!
Yeah, we're still working though. I mean, this is.
Use open fist.
I think Coop says that Bulldog was snug.
Well, that's the thing about the shoot matches. Everything got snug.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, rake to the eyes. Forearms to the head. Ooh. Oh. Some sort of move. Don't know what. Takes him against.
I really didn't want. We already had picked the ref as Troy Dazowski, so it's like having Brian in the reffing. One of the reasons I want him out, and I tell him to get out, is because I don't trust him. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he had something going on with Kelsey that I didn't know about. Right? And screw up the finish with me. Because he and Matt have been friends for a long time. Brian Peterson and Matt Kelsey. A lot longer than I knew Brian.
Ooh, foots to the back.
Not only that, Brian's attitude. I just didn't want him in there. You don't just come in and become a second ref because you want to.
Against rope. Ooh, Crush Crossen reverse the karate kick.
I'm getting real frustrated with Brian here. Now, Kelsey no-sold me there, right? My drop kick. And he does that little strut. That's when I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? You do something like that in a match, because I'm selling for him and he didn't sell for me. I'm thinking, why would you do that? So you'll see when this thing starts shifting, and it's going to happen here pretty quick. Right here. And you see Kelsey's facial expression. You know that. And from this point on, we're shooting.
Kelsey has him for a pin. Ref isn't counting. Ooh.
So elbow drops, forearms, they're all legit.
Another one. Ooh. Kid Kelsey's in pain. Kid Kelsey has a rope.
And Kelsey knows it.
Finally breaks. Ooh, forearms to the back ref.
That's where I told Peterson to get out of the ring.
There's a pin. One. No. Sorry. There's no pin.
Yeah, you get firm with Brian. At least when I did. When I got firm with him like that, he didn't mess around. He listened to me.
Hurting. Can't see what's happening. Kid Kelsey grabs the ropes.
So, my game plan, Dave, I knew we have a 10-minute timeout. I'm going to make him submit. I figured he will give up. I can
Yep, I can already hear him starting to...
They're both hurting very bad. And there's a pin. One count.
Yeah, there was a side that was obviously cool with the shoot matches, no doubt about that. But we'll talk about what, when this. I don't want to give anything away. I want to let people see what happens. But. So Matt is just trying to kill time. Remember, his thing is he just wants to deal with the time limit. I think Matt deep down knew he wasn't going to beat me. I wouldn't let it happen. But I thought I could make him give up. Because Matt Matt had a kind of a,
Submission maybe.
he was always afraid to take bump. You know, I figured he had a low tolerance for pain.
Scissors.
So what I do is I get the leg scissors on him here, or I started to, and I'll do it again.
Kid Kelsey makes it to the
And I,
rope.
it's anything I could do to make him give up. So right now I got a leg lock on him. He's grabbing at me, he's trying to do everything he can.
Ref should disqualify him. I don't know why he is. Kid Kelsey's running.
He told the ref it's a 5 count, dummy. He was mad. See, if the ref didn't tell me to break it, I didn't break it. Troy did not tell me to break it, so I'm just going by the rules of whatever the ref says at this point.
Some sort. There's the going circles.
You can see this is getting very, very
Kid Kelsey's on the
intense.
ropes. Kid Kelsey's hurting. Kid Kelsey's down.
You hear the guys telling me to beat on him more, beat on him more.
Kid Kelsey's down.
Yep.
Ref counting. 4. Kid Kelsey's down.
See how they're just all behind me, and that's just they're rooting you on, so you get more. It just gets your adrenaline going even more.
Commentary, Turnowski.
It's a good match. Try to get the pin on him. Kid Kelsey got the rope.
Those ropes again. Referee didn't tell me to break it. I didn't break it.
Has the rope.
I just pull them right off. Then I get the leg scissors on and I squeeze as hard as I could. I was squeezing so hard, Dave, my legs hurt after a while.
Swing in the ring.
I can't imagine what he was feeling.
Kid Kelsey.
He's grabbed me. He's pinned me. I didn't move. He was like just digging into my side and my ribs.
Kid Kelsey. Shot with the scissors.
I got the leg scissors on. I'm trying to. I'm some kind of a.
Kelsey reaching for the rope.
Not choking him, but I've got some kind of a headlock on him. The referee told me to break it. I'll eventually break it. But see, the ref isn't really telling me though. And I put a wrist lock, and I crank on that, and I crank on these leg scissors. And just want him to give up. And I even told him, I said, Matt, just give up. But he wouldn't. He would not give up.
Big match. Man, Matt Kelsey's hurting.
Matt was asking how much time.
But he still has enough energy.
He's trying to grab anything.
Matt Kelsey,
See the steam coming out of Matt's mouth? That's how cold it was in the garage, Dave.
Oh yeah.
as you can hear him yelling. USA Kelsey holding.
Every time he's screaming, as I'm putting more pressure on. So now I know they got a 10-minute time limit, and he's not giving up. Just yelling never. And then I figure I gotta pin him. I'm gonna have to pin him. The last part of the match, David. And there, and I just did that. I just ended up pinning him. I had him wore out enough. Look at, see, everybody, Brian and I are supposed to be. Everybody's out of character. Troy's coming in congratulating me. I mean, he's the heel.
How do you feel about this?
That's how they felt. You know, they just didn't. Part of the reason why they feel that way with Matt is because Matt was so good at being a heel, and he was trying to use a baby face. You know, his interview style, he was so much like a Ric Flair, Four Horsemen, and he would get, and that's why I think they felt the way they did about him. You know. So Matt was hurting. When this match was over, he didn't even get up. He's like he couldn't get up. He said his ribs were hurting too much. He didn't say anything for the rest of the day. He just.
I can't believe it either.
Oh god, here we go. One of these interviews.
I can do it. But ladies and gentlemen, you don't know how good it feels to become the 4-time world champion. The whole Twin Cities was behind
Sorry
me.
about that
on their
noise.
TV sets, on their wherever they were, in the studio, wherever they were. They knew I was going to get the job done. They knew I was going to become the 4-time world heavyweight champion. But ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it.
4-time.
You know, the whole thing, I'm speechless because. But ladies and gentlemen, you know, I just gotta thank the whole Twin Cities because they were behind me 110%.
The old Hulk Hogan
I wouldn't
influence.
have got the job done if it wasn't for them. Because this world heavyweight title, it's nothing else, man. The world heavyweight title's in my hands, and you think I'm gonna let it go just like that? You got another thing coming, man. I got the belt, and it's with me to stay. Got it? Roberts, you got the first title shot next week. You understand? I'm gonna defend this. I'm gonna name off the competitors. Roberts, Kelsey, anybody. They want it, they got it.
If I remember correctly, you and Matt didn't talk for like damn near a month.
Yeah. So what happened after that one, Dave, is Matt. You know, I think Matt's pride was hurt more than he was physically, honestly. And you know, it's almost like a fight in the playground in front of your friends, and they're all there and circling, you know, around the ring, kind of atmosphere. And it was televised and shown on cable with all your friends that aren't a part of this watching, and then giving you crap at school. I can't imagine the crap he might have got. So, you know, other kids saying, you lost the belt. You know, I'm sure he heard some of that.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, the friends that he knew anyway. And so, yeah, Matt didn't take my phone calls. I tried to call him right away the next day, and several weeks would go by, and he didn't take my phone calls or nothing. He just would not talk to me. And it was about 4 or 5 weeks, and we had done a Monday Night Madness show. That was our Saturday afternoon specials, kind of like talk shows.
Yep.
And Brian Balaban, I remember, we don't have this anymore because we never saved those. I wish we would have. And Brian Balaban was interviewing me as the new world champion. It was my first interview with the belt, so it's kind of fun. I really wanted to do this. And Matt was there. It was the first show that Matt came to. And although Matt hadn't said nothing to me all day, so I don't know if he's still mad or what, but we were just going on with it. He was there. And then Matt came out in the middle of my interview, unannounced, and just said, Crusher, he goes, I just want to shake your hand and congratulate you on winning the belt. And I wish you luck. Boy, what a class act.
Yep.
So, you know, that's how Matt rekindled our friendship. And we would go on to become friends, but he did it. He not only did I embarrass him on our, I want to say, well, I could say national television show. But he in turn came and then shook my hand on the same show a month later. I was pretty, you know, at that age, pretty class act.
It was.
See, I know I got a comment. I missed a few comments here. By the way, King Coop said, that's a nice world title belt. That's that belt right up there, King Coop, that blue one. Yes. That's I know that's my favorite. Yeah, Dave's got it up there as well. Yeah, that belt went through like 3 variations. So when we made the replica, we kind of took all 3 designs and put it together into one. So you notice the one I had there looked a little different, but that's because that's the first version of it. But yeah, and then Sports Talk says, Sean, how old were you and Matt in this video? So I was 15. Matt would have been 13. That was our ages. King Coop says Matt was really in his feeling, hurting with his feelings. Yes, it was. Yeah, we're friends, and this stuff happens, you know. So,
but I hate to say it, it's part of the business. I mean,
it is. It is. But Dave, this was the kind of that light bulb that went off in my head where I like, okay, I don't want to go through that again. I'm going to make the executive decision that we're not going to do shoots anymore like this. We're going to start predetermining the matches as we should be for a professional wrestling show. I know Japan does shoots. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, so it's the kind of, you could say we could be doing it like Japan, but no, I just felt that the friendships were more important at this point. So I figured let's not do it this way anymore.
Yep. The brotherhood had to be there for this to exist.
Yep. And I'm trying to get caught up with the comments. Well, Matt, after those 4 or 5 weeks, he put his pride aside. He did. You know, he just needed time to heal emotionally with it, I think. and
physically and emotionally.
yeah, yeah, because I don't know. I mean, maybe he really was hurting. I just think his pride was hurting more, but I could be wrong with that. Matt would be the one that we need to ask on that one. From what he remembers. Kinku says that's the blue one up there. Yeah, that's the blue belt. And by the way, I know Dave, you got to cut loose soon, and I can stay on and talk to the guys for a little bit longer. If you have to leave, that's fine.
Yep.
But speaking of that blue belt up there, so what we're gonna do, Dave and I, we're gonna be off now again until January, first week of January. It's gonna be our next show, and we're gonna do all the next shows. We're gonna go every week in January, and we're gonna feature wrestlers that are gonna be on the nomination for our final Hall of Fame year that we're gonna vote on, and so we're gonna feature.
Never say final, because who knows, if we make it to 50 years, we might
do
one more.
Yeah. My thinking is this is the last one, only because we were around for 4 years pretty much doing it.
Yep.
And I figured 4 years of Hall of Fame is sufficient. Recognition, as I like to say. And so we're going to feature these shows. We're going to take like a block of wrestlers that are going to be in it. We're going to kind of show a complete match of theirs or most of a match and maybe an interview segment or two, and then talk about them. And I have there's people in our Hall of Fame that I think I'm kind of surprised are in it right now. And there's others that I'm surprised are not in it. But I'm keeping my comments to myself on that. I don't want to influence anybody's vote. I'm going to talk just as highly about everybody that's on that ballot, believe me. Because I do feel that way about everybody that was on the show. So,
and of course, I am biased towards one nominee, but
Dixie Dave.
Dave Dixon's got to be biased towards one.
Yeah.
But as you stated, Crusher, due to real life events going on, I do have to bow out. Everybody, I'm looking forward to seeing you in January, and I won't have to be bowing out early in January.
Yeah, not a problem. I'll close things out, and you have a good rest of the month. Enjoy your Christmas, and
you too, Crusher. We will talk to you later. And to our fans, I will see you in a month. Enjoy the rest of the show. Enjoy your holidays, and be safe.
Yep, we'll see you. So yeah, but no, the reason I was bringing up that belt was because for this Hall of Fame, when we start the voting, which we probably won't start until, probably maybe in the spring of probably March, because March is the official 40th, would be the 40th anniversary. We're going to do, so when you vote, you're gonna have to vote, and then you're gonna have to at least give I think it's your email when you vote, so we have a register, so we can keep track of who's voting, and it'll keep track of an IP address where you vote from, so we don't have multiple people voting and stuff. I think that's how it works. But anyways, we're gonna keep track of all that, and then we're gonna put all of the emails into a randomizer, and we're gonna randomize them off, and then we're gonna come up with like kind of our top 10 or top 20, and we're gonna do giveaways. And for whoever's gets in that top 20, we're going to give away things like our DVDs of the Armories. We're going to give away the book. We're going to give away some T-shirts. And somebody's lucky enough is going to get that replica blue belt. We have another one, and we have several of them. As you've seen, Dave has one. And so we're going to do that NWF Blue World title. Somebody will get it. And all you got to do to participate is just vote in this Hall of Fame that we're going to do. So somebody will get the blue belt. We're going to give away the national belt, which is the national one is that one underneath the blue one. That's a pretty cool belt too. These belts were designed by Steve Engstrom originally. Pretty Boy Taylor, Mr. X did an awesome job and with those designs. And I've always told him he was as good as he was bumping in the ring. He was really good at coming up with those belt designs. So, but yeah. So that's going to be fun, and so that's what we're going to do for I always like to, I know Dave says we might have another, but this will probably be the last year we do a Hall of Fame, and so this one I want to make it special. I want anybody who takes the time to to watch our shows and learn about some of the guys that were on it and that are on there. And if they take the time to vote, I want to make sure they're at least have a chance to get some cool stuff. So, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And this one was I got to say, this show we watched tonight, folks. In fact, I wish I had my single. I don't have my, here, I'm going to go to dynamic scenes. We're going to lose the whole NWF background, but at least you can see me more without Dave. Or kind of. I just this one was a tough one because I was real happy I won the belt, but at the same time, this really affected my relationship with Matt. Even though Matt shook my hand and we kind of rekindled things, there was a part of our friendship, you guys, that was tarnished forever from that match. And that is why I made that decision to say, you know what, we're going to stop doing shoots. And, for better or for worse. And we're going to start doing it, the proper way. That was kind of my thinking. So, I got a few comments here. I'll get caught up on here quick before we sign out. What did King Coop say? And just back to the title belt, he said, looks better than most pro wrestling belts nowadays. Well, yeah, the belt designs today have changed. They're just a different style now, but ours is kind of old school style. It's more in the lines of how the belts were back in the 80s, kind of. Especially the national title. That's a real kind of a 1980s style belt for sure. They all were, but yeah. Let's see, Gizmo. Gizmo says, this was one of my favorite shows. That last match was intense. Have a great night, Dave. Yeah, it was intense. And, not only this, we haven't seen this other show with the Dynamite Dude and Rough Ryan when he had him in a camel clutch and Ryan couldn't breathe. And it affected Adam so much. Adam wanted to leave the show. He didn't want to do it anymore because he just got so involved in the match and just didn't realize what he was doing. So that between that match and this match, it was like, okay, we got to do something different. And Adam, he was the lightweight champion at the time. So that was a title match as well. The only problem with that show, and we'll watch it one of these days, but that show, the camera was acting up. So it would like go on, record, then it would stop, record, then stop. It would keep kind of glitching. And so it's like segmented a little bit, and that's kind of hard to watch, but you can get the gist of what's happening in the matches and stuff. But yeah, we'll still watch it though one of these days. Some of these shows just had technical difficulties that we couldn't get around. King Coop. Nice, that'll be interesting. I'm assuming you're talking about our Hall of Fame voting that we're going to do next year. Yeah. Like I said, I'd like to call it the Hall of Recognition. I hate calling it the Hall of Fame. I'm only using the Hall of Fame because that's what you do. I mean, there's softball leagues that have Hall of Fames, right? Localized stuff. But we're just trying to recognize the kids that kind of stood out on our product, a little bit more. So that's what we're doing. And then King Coop says, you don't want those shoot fights ruining friendships and all. Yeah, that's really what it was. And Matt and I, we've talked over since this time, obviously. But this is one of those memories that we both, I don't know, kind of want to forget a little bit, to be honest with you, just because of the friendship stuff. It's very interesting. Andrew Carlson, like I said, Ace, when he came on with us as a guest last year or this year, earlier in the year, I had told Andrew how I talked about this match. I said, when you lost the belt to Matt, I eventually won it from him, and it got ugly. And I said because of that, we went to, we stopped doing these as shoots. We went to regular, normal, predetermined stuff. And Andrew, I remember he's like looking, he goes, were the matches still competitive though? See, because for Andrew, his memories are, in all his title matches, he just survived. He held on to that belt. He did whatever he could, and they were intense competitions for him. And so Andrew's thinking is, was it competitive? Was it still competitive to watch and everything? So it's interesting to hear that from him, because Ace never experienced the working a title match like we eventually did. So I think that's kind of interesting, to hear it from, a guy that was on the show, champion for most of it, that really did defend the belt. I mean, some of the guys he beat, a lot of the guys he just had to weather the storm, Andrew did, because he was in over his head. Andrew wasn't a big kid, and he was into the ring with some kids that were probably stronger, and like that Roughhouse Roberts that was on there, giving Matt a lot of heat outside the ring there, Chuck Roberts. Well, that's a match that Andrew had that he, was way over his head, and Chuck actually legitimately beat him. But I talked Chuck out of it, and Chuck agreed to give the belt back to Andrew. But that was just because I talked him out of it. He literally won it, and I got him to agree to give it back. That's a whole other story. But yeah, so King Coop, right? I agree with you, but he held his own, and that's always a good thing. Yeah. So what I learned from Matt in this match that I underestimated, I thought I could make him give up. I thought I could make him just say, I quit. I can't take it anymore. I was, you guys have to understand, I was squeezing so hard with those leg scissors that my legs literally hurt. Because that was, minute after minute of that, in that segment of the match. And it hurt. And then when I did that wrist lock, I was cranking on it. And what I learned is Matt is tougher than I thought, and he could he took a lot more. And then I'm hearing them saying how much time's left in the match at ringside. You hear these things in the ring, and I'm like, shit, I got to get something done here. If I want to win this, I'm going to have to try to pin him. And so Matt at that point was so wore out that I could get him pinned, and that's how it went. But listen, guys, I know you love that edge and that competitive edge, but it's a tough one for me, just because we were such good friends at the time. But I get it. I totally get it. How they're entertaining to watch and everything, and I totally see your side of that part of it. I know, I forget who commented on it earlier, but they said that they really like those title matches, and yeah. But yeah, so like I said, we're going to be off again here. In fact, the next time we're going to be on again is going to be, got a thing here for it. We will be returning then live next year, January 4th, at our normal time on Thursdays. And at that point then, for January, at least for the first 4 weeks, we're going to be going every week for that month. Just because I want to kind of cover all the people that are being nominated in this Hall of Fame. It's basically the same guys that were on the ballot before, that didn't get in last time we did it. But yeah, so, and I want to talk about all of them. I kind of want to feature each one of them and kind of tell you a little bit about what they were about. And so you have kind of I want to give everybody kind of a little background of the person, so that you're not just voting for names. You kind of have a little bit about who it would be, and then just making your own decision on what you think. That'll be fun. So give us a little change of pace. And I know somebody had emailed us wanting to know if we're gonna have guests again like we used to. Remember, we always brought back some of the kids as adults. Now we bring them back as guests, and we absolutely are. In fact, the Destructors, John Hoffman and company, Leslie Johnson, Gary Parr, maybe even Ryan Rude, get all of them. They're definitely going to come on with us next year. Terry Kostnapel, he's always in the house watching, but we're going to have him come on as well. And we'll have to get Jamie McParland on again. I know everybody liked Jamie, and he's very busy. He's got a lot of stuff going on in side projects and stuff. But we'll get Jamie on again, because I know people like Jamie, and I do too. He's a great guest. And I know Matt Kelsey, speaking of which, he was watching tonight, folks, just so you know. He told me or commented on it. He's going to be listening. Matt has always wanted to get, like, say, him and maybe Andrew, Carlson, a few others, and do like a panel of us. I think that would be fun too. So I think maybe we could do something like that too. Get some of the guys to come back and do kind of like a panel thing. So definitely up for that. And but yeah. So yeah, guys, we're kind of at the end of the ropes here for the show. Let's see here. Gizmo says, have a great night and a safe, fun holiday season. Same to you, Gizmo. That's goes for everybody out there. I hope you have a good holiday, good Christmas. If you celebrate it, or whatever holidays you celebrate coming up here at the end of the year. But yeah, so that'll be a good time for everybody to spend time with your family and your loved ones and everything. Let's see. King Coop says, and it'll be cool to learn about the people behind the character wrestlers. Yeah, and I can definitely give you that background, because I pretty much knew everybody, right? We're like, some of the guys weren't on the show the whole time, but I'll definitely give you the background that I remember, what they were like off the show, if they did anything, contributed behind the scenes, more so. Because a lot of the guys might have had a character on the show, but they were very influential behind the scenes. And how they were related to how they got on the show. Some kids just called the hotline and joined. A lot of the kids were friends of friends, so. All right, Sports Talk. Happy holidays. Love the show. Thanks very much. We always appreciate you guys tuning in. It's, I love doing this. And as much as I love to get you guys on live, we get so many more views on replay. I don't know why that is. Just the way it is. I mean, some of our shows get 300-400 views after, on replay. I think it's just the way it is these days. It's hard. People have busy lives and schedules, and they just aren't always able to commit to a live. But we really, Dave and I really appreciate you guys coming and watching when we're live, because it gives us some interaction, and that makes the show more interesting. And your guys' questions and comments are great. And just want you guys to know that we really appreciate all your, tuning in every week. So with that, I'm going to say for Dixie Dave, this has been Crusher Crossen. Hope you enjoyed NWF Rewind for December. We will be back January 4th. Once again, January 4th, we'll be live, and we'll be starting our special shows where we're going to highlight and talk about the guys that are going to be nominated on this Hall of Fame. And we'll talk about all the details, and I'll have more details on the giveaways and stuff that we're going to do on that as well, as far as raffling off, I guess you could say. There's online randomizers we'll use, and when we do that, we're going to do that live on our show. So you'll see everybody get randomized live, and we'll do the whole giveaway thing. So it'll be fun. All right. So with that, we will call it a night. Hope you guys have a good night, and we'll see you in about a little less than a month. See you then, folks.